the latest in the legal battle on Harmony Montgomery. And this is really shining a light on how the Department of Children and Family Services failed her miserably. And we've got some brand new reaction from retired Judge Carol Erskine, who, you know, handled the adoption of Harmony's brother, Jameson. She's also a constitutional law professor, by the way. Take a look at what Judge Carol tweeted. This tweet is awesome. It was blowing up yesterday. She wrote, quote, "Unbelievable," all caps. New Hampshire is trying to dismiss a breach of fiduciary duty claim in Tiny Harmony's civil case, arguing that it owed her no legal duty of care since she wasn't in state custody, just in the assessment phase. These people are despicable. How could she still be in the assessment phase after 17 reports in 3 months? The judge goes on to say, were they still assessing her when she was brutally murdered? Wow. Boom, drop the mic right there. But we want to talk about this case more. We're not letting this go. I want to bring in our special guest, retired juvenile court judge and author. She wrote a book about Harmony's case, A Cruel Injustice, not taking a dime for it. You can pick it up. It benefits everyone at the Dave Thomas Adoption Foundation, all of those kids who need help. Judge Carol, great to see you. Would you start, please, by telling us about your plan? As we understand it, you plan to even file a complaint about this motion. Would you explain that for us, please, Judge?
Well, I don't have, even though I don't have standing to file a complaint, what I'm calling for and what I will be calling for over the next few weeks is for federal involvement. I think it's time we started asking the U.S. Attorney's Office through whatever investigatory agency it uses, whether it's the FBI or whether it's some other agency like the Office for Civil Rights, to start looking at whether or not the state, through its inaction and through some of its willful inaction, violated Harmony's civil rights and violated her constitutional rights to not only a fair investigation, which is a procedural due process right, but her substantive due process rights. So I tweeted that out because it's in the civil suit, and I just found it, as I said, despicable. That their position is we didn't owe her a legal duty. We didn't owe her a fiduciary duty.
And Judge, everybody was seeing that tweet and cheering, yes, yes, preach, Judge. This is just one more appalling thing in the quest for justice for Harmony. It really is. And would you kindly go into professor mode for us, please, Judge? As we're understanding this, it seems that the state is only picking apart just one part of this claim. They're not looking to dismiss the negligence claims, but they're fighting about whether Harmony was in their legal custody. Why is that?
The reason that they're making that argument is because under New Hampshire law, and I think in a lot of states, you don't really owe a fiduciary duty to a person unless that person is in your custody, at least with respect to cases like this with children. So what they're saying is, look, she wasn't in our custody, and so therefore we don't owe her a fiduciary duty. Basically, we, are required to follow the regulations and the statutes, but a fiduciary duty means that you owe someone an ethical and special kind of relationship, a very special care kind of relationship where the interests of Harmony would be put above the interests of the state and DCYF. And basically they're saying we didn't owe her that because she wasn't in our custody. And to some degree, case law supports that, although the civil suit is arguing otherwise, saying this special duty was created in a sense by the fact that they had not control, but they had oversight of her case for 3 months. There were 3 months there where she was being managed by a social worker, or maybe mismanaged. I'm not sure. I think, of course, that's what they're alleging.
Right. Yeah, maybe the latter, Judge. Dimitrios Soros is who you're talking about. We've got a clip of some of his testimony about what he observed with Harmony. Let's watch it together.
I did notice a small red mark under one of her eyes and some redness, a little discoloration in the eye that was closest to that.
Did the defendant tell you anything regarding how that injury occurred?
He did. He said that he had bought the kids, he had two younger children, he bought the kids like foam swords or lightsabers, and that they were playing with them, and that Harmony was struck in the face, in the eye, and that's how she got that mark.
And Judge Carol, some of our wonderful courties watching at home may remember that witness testifying during Adam Montgomery's homicide case. There was so much more in the way of complaints that I know you're aware of. Would you kind of touch on some of the other things that were alleged to have been happening with Harmony?
Right. It is infuriating watching that testimony, I have to say, because of course it wasn't really honest, in the sense that he was supposed to have evaluated her on July 29th and said that he did, and lied to the police in an email saying, I saw her and there were no bruises. But even beyond that, that report of abuse was filed by the uncle, Kevin Montgomery, who I've actually spoken to a number of times in recent weeks. And he called again later that day saying, why isn't someone out there seeing her? And of course, we know he went out there and he allowed Adam Montgomery to just sort of take Harmony out of the house and fled, according to Kayla Montgomery. But there were multiple other reports alleging drug use in the home. People were seeing needles and paraphernalia. There was an allegation in August of sexual molestation that was never investigated, at least according to the civil suit, which there should have been an immediate investigation. There were allegations of severe maltreatment, having her crawl around on a floor, scrubbing a bathroom floor with a toothbrush. There was emotional abuse. There was verbal abuse by he and Kayla. These were all being reported. They couldn't pay their bills. There was no electricity in the home. The home was, according to some reports, filthy, and that Harmony also was never even allowed to leave the home. So there was just ongoing, in my view, torment in that home. And it's just unbelievably frustrating to me that these reports were coming in, many of them never even investigated. They were just classified as additional information, and no investigation took place. And in the meantime, this little girl was living a nightmare, an absolute nightmare.
And only 5 years old, as you know, Judge. It is heart-wrenching to think about what she went through and how she had no one to count on. Everybody failed her. I have a statement from our friends Blair and Jonathan Miller, the wonderful parents of Harmony's brother, Jameson. They adopted Jameson. They would have adopted Harmony, too, if she was in the custody of the state. They issued this statement to indepthnh.org, and this was with respect to Soros's employment history. And so they said there's no excuse for how these agencies failed to protect Harmony Montgomery and continue to fail to protect other children. The fact of the matter is, no one was looking out for Harmony, no one. And Judge, you've become so special to the Millers in presiding over Jameson's case. And it's a daily struggle for Jameson, to understand what happened to Harmony. Is it not?
Yes. Of course, I'm in touch with Blair and Jonathan frequently. We developed a very strong bond over the years, especially working on the book. But Jameson definitely struggles. He has a lot of questions. He doesn't read to her. He only knows that she has passed away.
Oh, and we just lost Judge Carol Erskine. But you know what? I can pick it up here, as I know the Millers very well. It's a daily struggle. He asks where his sister is, understands that she's in heaven, doesn't understand the cruel way in which she got there. And through that adoption process and getting to know Harmony's case was how Judge Carol Erskine became inspired to write that book, A Cruel Injustice. This is all about the systematic failures that led to her death, and perhaps it will spawn some change in New Hampshire or in other states. Here's a look at the cover of the book, and again, the judge doesn't get a dime from it. All of the proceeds go to help children with the Dave Thomas Foundation. Big thanks to our friend Judge Carol Erskine for her wonderful advocacy work for Harmony.